Good evening, folks. The Angry Hacks are coming at you live on this Thursday, almost December. And goddamn, we got a good one today. It's been a couple of days to digest this information, this craziness in the New York Giants organization, and it's time to let it all out. Michael Hall, how we doing this evening?
Good. I just made myself some popcorn. I'm ready to sit back and listen to you guys shred this team right now.
Well, I'm glad you're here. And my man, Stan, the man, what's going on, brother?
Who knows? Who knows? This cockamamie bullshit, Ben McAdoo.
McAdoo.
I'm just gonna start it here, man.
Please.
This is the worst feeling I've had as a sports fan in a long while. It's a bad taste in my mouth. It's all of this garbage. How do you treat Eli Manning that way? The one guy that's done it every single day for what, 14 freaking years? 14 years. The one guy that's never given up. The one guy that works his ass off every damn week. Monday through Sunday. Every single week. Every single day. This guy is busting his ass for this organization. This guy has been the face of the franchise and has had only... Yes, he's had his moments, where we are frustrated with him, but he has only given good things to this organization, and for us to do this to him with this 2-9 crappy football team is bullshit.
Absolute bullshit, my man. And I'm really holding a lot in right now, but I'm ready to explode. But you're right. It's like one of the worst feelings as a sports fan. When I heard that information and I heard the news, I was actually at the gym. I feel like I hear all this crap at the gym, but I'm at the gym and I saw it come up on the bottom line on ESPN. And I really thought I was like dreaming for a second. Like it was just like a nightmare or something. And I looked and I just kind of like, my emotions just like, I don't know, they came to the surface and I got like visibly upset, like visibly, like people around me are probably like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? I was visibly upset. And after a little while, I couldn't stop thinking about it, Rye. Couldn't stop thinking about it.
I still can't stop thinking about it, Rye. I wasn't at the gym, but when I heard about it, I started pacing instantaneously like a freaking madman, pacing and biting my freaking knuckles because I was just so freaking pissed. I think if I was in the presence of a New York Giants higher up, whether it was Mara or Reese or McAdoo, because you know what, Reese and Mara are still to blame here. It's not just McAdoo.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of them. And you know what? If they were in front of me, I don't know if I would have been able to control myself. I would be like a nice, just be a good human being towards them at the moment. But I couldn't. No way I'd be able to be nice to them in that moment. I think I would have lost my shit.
No, I'm with you too. And it's so weird though. It's a lot of this is just, it's still not making a lot of sense in different ways. And I mean, Eli's been there 14 years, 210 straight games started for this organization, and not one thing did I ever think this would happen. Not one thing in my body told me that this was going to happen, that Jerry Reese, that the Maras were ever going to let this happen. It almost makes me think this damn coach has them brainwashed somehow. It almost makes me think, and it's probably not, but it runs through my mind. It runs through my mind because it's never happened before. And was Eli playing great? No, not great. And that's the funny thing about this. We're not we're not talking about that aspect of it, that they replace him because he was playing bad or he was playing so bad that they needed to be replaced. He wasn't playing that bad. The team's 2-9, yes, but it's not his fault. He's got nobody around him. He's got no line. He's got no running game. His wide receivers are on the injured reserve list. I mean, come on. This is something that is just, I can't wrap my fingers around the full reasoning of this. You try to pick a spot where, yes, maybe you want to take a look at the other quarterbacks. But first of all, you're starting Geno Smith. We don't need to take a look at him. He's not the future of this damn team. And we know that. We've seen him across town. It doesn't make any sense. If they were going to put in Davis Webb, that's a little bit of a different avenue to go to, because yes, we just drafted him, and yes, we do need a quarterback of the future eventually, quite soon. Yes, that would have made more sense. But Geno Smith,
and
now,
McAdoo went with like saying that Geno gives us the better chance to win.
Oh my God! Everything he says does not make sense, Rye.
Nothing he says makes sense. Give me a freaking break. Part of me is like, hey, are we doing this move so that we can tank without saying we're tanking? What is this? I mean, we're 2-9 anyway. Like you said, if you want to go to Davis Webb, you should have went to Davis Webb when you were down by 38 points to the freaking Rams, like we said a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you see what Davis Webb has. You don't do this to Eli dirty like this. This is a dirty move, and it's like that greased back Pat Riley wannabe freaking haircut. This guy, like you said, I just want to blame him. This could very well be Mara and Reese, but I want to blame this smug bastard.
Smug bastard, absolutely. It boggles my mind how it seems like he's got a stranglehold on this organization right now. And he seems to have no remorse in his decisions. Like it seems like this decision that he made is not a big deal. If you've seen him in his press conferences since he's made this decision, or since they all made this decision, he's standing truly 100% by this decision. And there's no problem about it. He did nothing wrong. This was the right move at the right time. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Are you kidding me?
Again, this is a guy that has never taken ownership for any of his losses, any of the flaws in this team. This guy never takes the ownership. He doesn't have the balls to say anything to Odell or to Consequence Odell or to call out other players. But the one guy that he calls out is Eli. That's the one guy you're calling out here, and the one guy you've thrown under the bus a few times this year, and then you do this to him? That's why I think it's him. Because the evidence throughout the year has pointed to McAdoo.
Does he not like Eli or something? I don't get it. How can't you like that guy?
I don't know, because everyone in the planet has liked him. Have you heard anybody come to Mara's defense here? Or Reese's defense, or McAdoo's defense? No. The outpouring of former players and current players, whether they are teammates or opponents, about Cowboy fans, every former Giant, every single one of them that played with them for a minute, had a cup of coffee with them, or played with them for freaking 10 years, is supporting Eli Manning. Because the amount of I actually love the outpouring of affection and the defense that we all of Giant fans have for this guy Eli, and that we all want to just protect this guy. It's like this is like you're hurting my family here. That's how it feels. Like, seriously, like I watched the video of Eli about to cry in his locker, and I got teary-eyed.
Yep. It was super rough to watch, dude.
I mean, watch. This is our boy. This is our guy. He's our guy. That's what it is. Eli is our boy. He He's in the good book forever. He's on the top of my list of players of all time. Like for us as New Yorkers, I mean, he's a top 5 Giant. He's on the Mount Rushmore of New York Giants. He might be Mount Rushmore of New York athletes. I mean, Yankee fans would disagree, I guess, but me as a Met fan, he would be on my Mount Rushmore New York athletes probably.
Of your New York sports teams, absolutely.
But like this, you hurt my family here, and I think all fans of the Giants, real fans of the Giants, feel the same way. That they're like, you just hurt their brother.
Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, we could sit here and, just talk about the whole thing, and but I feel like everybody's heard it already. Everybody's heard the outcries of people. It's been done. I've seen so many things on Twitter, and you have too, Ryan. I know you have, and it's all to the support of Eli. And there's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind that. He's really done no wrong in the eyes of others. And like you said, not just teammates, it's people around the league. Everybody respects this guy. And to do him the way they did this, the way that this went down was absolutely sneaky bullshit, dude. It's absolutely, like you said, it's dirty. It's gross. It's freaking, it makes me want to throw up. It makes me want to jump through the TV and rip the Pat Riley wig off his head.
Oh, I would love to grab a hold of that thing. Love to
How
grab
about
a
that
hold
mustache? That phony ass
Yeah.
mustache, too.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
like
rip
to.
that off like a duct tape.
It's just, I mean, I really want to sit here and flip out right now. I want to, but I feel like I'll just start throwing things in my house. And that's not what I want to do. It's not what I want to
Well,
do.
like, and they do it. Not only is it dirty, but just to not have the balls to do this. He also did this in the most cowardly way. On the road when we're going to play in Oakland against a team that's really struggling. Um, he does this thing. He benches Eli, has no remorse, doesn't look at the camera. Like his body language is so terrible. He did he ever learn any etiquette from anybody? Like he never answers a question. He's such an asshole.
He's
He's
smug,
an
like you
asshole.
said. Smug was the perfect word for it, dude.
And not only like, are you really supposed to be winning games with freaking Roger Lewis as your best receiver?
No,
No.
no, you're not.
King, Rudolph, Jarrell Adams, Ellison, Ingram dropping
No.
first downs.
He's also a
This is
rookie too. I mean, he's a good talent, but he's a rookie.
right. And then so they bring in Gino. Like you said, if it's Webb, it's one thing. I mean, it's a little. I mean,
It's
it's just a
different. It's
little
different.
better. Right. It's different. It would at least make some sort of sense if there if
Right.
there was no connection. Okay. I could see how outside perspectives might think, okay, but either way, this would still be a dirty way to do it. You almost have to talk about. I mean, maybe they did talk about this ahead of time, but clearly didn't want this to happen. Otherwise, he wouldn't have received these questions. He wouldn't answer these questions the way he did with tears on his face. I don't think, maybe, but like, what guy is going to be out there just lays his heart out there, whether it's on the field or it's an interview. The guy's just let his heart on his sleeve, and I love that about him. And now I'm going off topic again because I'm going to get back to this. Smith is going to be the quarterback this week for the first time that we're going to see someone other than number 10 back there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to make me really upset.
Mm-hmm.
They do this. They do this. It was cowardly. And now our best weapon is going to be there for Geno Smith and Sterling Shepard, who hasn't played the last few weeks because of migraines. Oh, you know what? Now that we're going to bench Eli, let's bring back Shepard for Geno. And I know that's probably just because he's coming back from injury, but that's bullshit. This is just another thing. They did this at this moment because if Geno succeeds, it will make them look good. I don't see Geno succeeding, but you have to say that his chances of succession are better if Sterling Shepard's out there than not out there.
Yeah. And you know what I'm waiting for, Ryan? I'm waiting for next week when they come home to play Dallas.
Oh yeah, baby.
What
Boo
it is
Eli the
going
whole
it
time.
might be the loudest boos you've ever heard in your life. It's going to come through your television.
That's why they needed. I wish they did this. They didn't have the balls to do it while we were home, but I wish they did. I wish they freaking did this when we were home. I wish they did it right before next week, so that the fans would go bananas. And
Bananas.
I hope every fan is like Francesa was the other day. That I know that we haven't listened to Francesa as much as we used to, and it's not the same without Dog. But let me tell you something. That might have been my favorite Francesa moment of the last like 5 years.
Yeah, it was good.
Ripping McAdoo and ripping Giants. It was like vintage Francesa, and I know he's
And
could
he's
be an
not
ass
really he's not
sometimes.
even that much of a Giant fan either.
He really is. But either
I
way,
think he was more of a Parcells kind of guy.
that's true. But
He
either
loved
way,
Parcells.
he understands New York sports
Oh, of
better than
course he does.
almost anybody. Better than almost anybody. And I love that he came to the defense of Eli. I love it. I mean, I love the outpouring of because this is just bullshit.
How
I can't get over. Can't stop thinking about it.
well, right. It's just how dare let's go back to Matt. Let's just all on McAdoo right now. How dare he make this move? I'm just gonna go right back to the beginning. How dare he do this right now? How dare he do this to the fans? How dare he does this to this organization? How dare he does this to Eli's teammates, former and current? How dare him? Like, does he have like a heart? Does he have any type of remorse? I mean, he knows Eli's at the end of his career. He's only got a few more years left. Why can't you let the guy ride out on the sunset, man? Maybe not in a winning fashion, but just let him play his days out in New York. I mean, now how is this going to look? How is this going to look? This looks terrible. And how does Eli feel? I mean, he takes it like a champion, the respectable guy he is. He was in there the next day early going over plays with Davis Webb.
Yep, in the cafeteria.
Yeah. That's how good of a guy he is.
He's class. He is class. This is the guy that you want to be the face of your franchise, and we've had it for so long. We're spoiled. There's been 34 quarterbacks that have started since Eli Manning wasn't the starter for the Giants. Since that last game that Kurt Warner played, there's been 34 in our division.
Yeah.
How many have the Browns had?
Probably 20. I think the number, Rye, was 188 total in the league.
Right.
I mean,
188 different guys. And I'm talking about likes of guys that retired 12 years ago.
Guys are long gone, like Cleo Lemon.
Cleo Lemon.
Yeah.
Vinny Testaverde.
It's insane.
This is...
I know.
Need to handle it with class. You know what? Part of me is well. You know what? This week, I really hope that the Oakland Raiders defense destroys us, and I'm not kidding.
No,
this is like the first time I'm ever going to be watching my own team play where I want them to freaking lose, and maybe not lose, but I want our offense to suck asshole.
And that is not, and if anybody knows you, that is not like you at all. You've never said that before.
I've never said it before. You've heard it. This is the first time I've ever said it. I've thought about this the last couple of days. I've had 2 days to think about it. This isn't some quick response, reported opinion.
You've been chewing on.
This is something I've been chewing on this. I really hope the Raiders beat our freaking ass, our offense's ass this week. And no injury like that. I hope Geno throws freaking 8 picks. I hope it's 8 interceptions. I hope he breaks the record for most interceptions in a freaking game.
So we need an outsider's perspective, and that's why we have you, Michael. What do you make of this whole situation? Please enlighten us with your vision on this.
Well, it's horrible. Um, you know, I think you guys touched on all the emotions. It's still very raw for a fan. And you know, it's been a really long time. I mean, since someone else has started the game for the Giants, and to be honest, there's no other way that another quarterback should be starting instead of Eli Manning until the day Eli Manning retires. I mean, just let's just say this was going to be his last season, and only Eli knows. Maybe he knew before the season. To go out on this big of a losing team is bad enough. Now you strip this guy of his dignity. You take his job from him when, like you guys said, he's the only guy that shows up for 60 minutes every single week. He's the only guy on this team this year to do that. I mean, Ben McAdoo. I mean, now the decision. I mean, they're all to blame. Mara's to blame. Reese is to blame. McAdoo. Who knows if he's the puppet in this sick play or he had a lot of influence in the decision. I don't know. But Mara takes a giant hit. I mean, remember when they ran Coughlin out of town and Tom his final press conference? Remember when he walked in and he walked right past Mara and he just there wasn't a handshake, there was nothing. It was cold. It was cold. Coughlin did not like the way he was treated by John Mara.
Right.
So this stinks. This stinks like this. It stinks the same way. It's the same kind of smell, man. This is garbage. I mean, for McAdoo to say that Geno Smith gives you a better chance. I mean, listen. Now Eli has not had a great year, but when you guys were talking, I did a little bit of number crunching here. Eli's projected numbers from the season over a full 16-game season: 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions on this garbage of a team.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem?
Wow.
What is the problem? Now listen, I'm not trying to take all the emotion out of this. Geno Smith. I think people want to know they know Geno Smith because we've seen some really bad football from this guy. But he's only started like 28 or 30 games. He hasn't even started the full 2 seasons in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying Geno Smith is any good, but I don't think we really know yet. Okay? And again, this would make a lot more sense if Davis Webb was playing. And here's the really fucked up thing. Eli is the backup on Sunday. Davis Webb is not dressing.
Yeah, that I was.
Can you imagine Geno Smith got hurt? Who's trotting out there?
Eli.
Like, could that get any more awkward?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that? That blows my mind. That scenario. Geno Smith gets hurt. What if Geno Smith throws a 5-interception first half? Is McAdoo going to approach Eli Manning at halftime and say, "You got the ball"?
Shove it up your ass.
Right? You know,
Yeah.
I'm glad Eli handled that whole. Oh well, you know, you can start, but we're going to pull you.
Oh my God, that was so ridiculous.
Now listen, we think we know Eli Manning. A part of me wishes he just went, "Go fuck yourself," because I'm sure it was in someone's office with the door closed. And listen, Eli probably was all class about it. But man, don't you just wish he just had a moment of just let his guard down for a second and just said, "Go fuck yourself." No. I'll help the kid out, but I'm not helping you out. You know, it's unbelievable. And you mentioned Francesa, Stan. I mean, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. And listen, Francesa is retiring very, very soon, and that may very well be his last rant. And it was poetic. It was perfect. I mean, but oh God,
Perfect.
on this team. I mean, now people are saying, well, you should bench other guys, and that's a little, that point's a little. You don't have much to stand on there because the quarterback's such a different position. I mean, it's not like you're gonna, you're not gonna say, well, Janoris Jenkins, he dogged it. Why don't you bench him? I mean, all the other corners kind of play anyway. Quarterback is such a unique position. The backups don't play, so I understand if you want to see what you have, but this situation, it doesn't make sense. It's so bizarre. And McAdoo with his press conferences, you guys touched on that. This guy, where's his credibility? You don't get to do that, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
You inherited a really good football team. You rode Aaron Rodgers' ball sack to get a job with the Giants as the offensive coordinator. Then you get the head coaching job when they run a coach out of town. You probably had something to do with that too. Now that we look at all this, you sneaky little weasel. And then Reese buys you a defense. You ride the defense to an 11-5 season. Your team has never scored 30 points with you calling plays. You're a joke. He's got this Belichick attitude. Belichick has earned it, dude. You haven't earned jack shit. I mean, is this just his last desperate move? He knows he's probably going to get canned. He's trying to take someone down with him, or, I don't know. I don't know what this is. I don't know where it started. Whose idea was this? That's what I want to know.
What if he doesn't get canned?
Oh my God.
Well, that's a better question for you guys. I mean,
yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, what if he doesn't, Rye?
Well, okay. Listen, he doesn't get canned. So we talk about how much we hate this move. I hate so many other levels than affecting my fandom and, my love for Eli. I love Eli more than anything. But this could affect, if you don't can McAdoo, you're telling everybody else that you were you did this, Mara or Reese. If you don't can Reese and McAdoo, you're saying that you did this. And by doing that, you affect free agents. I really believe this. You affect people wanting to come play for the New York Football Giants, which is something that we've never had a problem doing. We've never had a problem getting to people to come to New York to play for the Giants because we are a storied franchise and we do things the right way. But like Mike just said, this is the second time in like 2 years that we've done shit dirty. And now to Manning. Two guys that won us 2 freaking rings and everyone loved. And that stuff, people remember that. You know what? Should I go to the Giants? Oh, they might do me dirty at some point if this guy McAdoo's running the show.
It's turned into it's like a circus.
It is a circus, and the fact that like guys on this team clearly feel like he's lost them, or they don't like him, they don't respect him, and I know some do. Like Dave said last week, I listened to your boy Collins busting his butt, and he is, and I give Landon Collins a lot of credit for still busting his butt out there. But clearly, a lot of guys have been turned off by McAdoo and want nothing to do with McAdoo on this team. You can't bring him back here. He should have been gone weeks ago. This should have never gotten to this point. He should have been the one taking the blame. He's the one that should have been benched. About bench your barber, Ben. Bench your freaking barber, you asshole.
Cut the barber. Pun intended. You bring up an interesting point with if he doesn't get fired or Reese doesn't get fired, it almost seems like just they got this little 3-headed monster going, the three of them, and they're just, locking themselves in a room and just, thinking of just sneaky things to do. Like they're this little, little contingent, just, throwing slime all over the walls.
That's not them. That's not them.
It shouldn't be.
This only started happening when McAdoo became a part of this organization.
Right. Yeah, that's why I made the joke that maybe he had something to do with Coughlin getting canned. It's like, does McAdoo have dirt on everybody? Like, is he that good of a manipulator? Like, who knows? I mean, this guy was a coach on my team's staff for years, and I didn't know a fucking thing about this guy. Like, he still had the goofy haircut, and they said he was a hard worker, and he led I supposedly led a great quarterback and a great offense, but that was all bullshit. Apparently, that was all bullshit. This guy, holy shit! I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And I wanted to. I found something kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of sad in a sense, but looking back, I mean, a snapshot of the world. The last time Eli didn't start a game for the Giants. There's a couple things that they blew my mind because it's been so long. I mean, George Bush was president, for Christ's sake. But there are a couple things. You remember the Ron Artest fight in Detroit?
Yes.
Yep.
That was 2 days. That was 2 days before Eli's first start. That seems like eons ago. The Washington Nationals didn't exist yet. There were still the Expos.
Oh my God.
I mean, Sidney Crosby wasn't even in the NHL yet. Just such crazy shit. It's been so long. I mean, the most popular cell phone in America was the Nokia. That big ass thing with the antenna. That was the best selling cell phone the last time Eli Manning didn't start a game. And it shouldn't have ended like this.
And you know what? And I think people don't understand how unbelievable of a streak that is.
It's ridiculous.
In football. And I've heard people, well, he doesn't really get hit hard. Are you friggin' kidding me? Have you seen his offensive line? Dude, this year has been the worst, to be honest with you. And he gets his ass right back up. Did anybody watch that NFC Championship game against the 49ers? He got his ass beat.
There was some hits that I'm like, well, there it is.
Unbelievable hits that drove him into the ground. This guy is an animal. He just got right back up, his doofy little face that I love, and got right back up and slang it right after that.
Shucks.
The word, slang it. He was slinging it.
Slonging it.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man. This is an amazing statistic. He was the current NFL Iron Man. He really was. And just the way it goes, it's gonna end is like this. This is how it's ending, right?
It's infuriating. And the thing is like, even if he didn't have this streak, this shit would piss me off.
Right.
Absolutely.
If this streak wasn't going, but this streak makes it's like the cherry on top for this being extra freaking dirty.
Yeah.
Because there's so many angles, man. It's not just about trying to play another guy. It's really doing him dirty.
You know why I think it's really dirty? This is the part that really, really bothers me. If a team's going to do this, okay, we're 2-9, and we have this franchise quarterback. He's 37 years old. He's been great for the organization, but we really, really need to see what we have at the position for the future. Fine, whatever. But this is still a really good team. I mean, a few months ago, this was a Super Bowl contender. Okay, with a really good defense. Listen, there's holes. The offensive line has had its struggles, and it needs to be addressed. But a Super Bowl caliber defense, offensive weapons out the yin yang that just got hurt. So you know what? I don't think you need to see what you have. When the team is that good, still that good. I mean, these injured guys they'll be there next year. And the defense will still be there next year. I know every year changes a bit. But come on now. This isn't the Browns trying to rebuild. We need to see what we have. I don't think you do need to see what you have. I really don't.
I totally agree with you. And the other reason is we all already know what we have. It's Geno freaking Smith. And let me give you his career totals, okay? You ready? 57% completion percentage. He has 28 touchdowns for his career. 36 interceptions.
Yeah.
He's not good.
No.
He's not good.
No, he's not good, and it's probably not going to be good Sunday. And how bad does it have to get on Sunday for Coach Benny with the hair to put in the backup, who just happens to be Eli Manning? It's so fucked up.
And you know what, Mike? As sad as it sounds, and Rye, I think you're on my side on this one. I want it to happen. I want this to be such a tough, most like embarrassing kind of situation for McAdoo
Yeah.
to have to make a decision.
I think the whole world does. The whole
Yeah.
world does. No one wants to see it. And listen, I kind of feel bad for Geno Smith in this spot because he didn't ask for this.
Right. I was thinking the
No, I
same thing.
agree.
But listen, sorry, Geno, the whole world wants to see you fucking fall on your face on Sunday. And not because of you, but because of McAdoo.
And now,
Right.
you guys can't. What do you think about this? You can't kind of fault the guy for. I'm talking about Geno. You can't kind of fault him for not going up to McAdoo and say that's not right. You know, this is Eli's team. He can't do that, right?
It's tough to ask him to do that.
It's so tough. Like, and I wouldn't want him to. I would want him to do it, but it's awkward.
Yeah, I mean, you want the Rudy moment where they all walk into the office and put the jersey on the desk, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Eli's playing for me. You want it to happen, but you can't blame the guy. And listen,
No.
Geno, it's kind of followed him around his whole career. He had unfair, lofty expectations by being a second-round draft pick by the fucking idiot Jets. He should have never been a second-round pick. I mean, come on. This guy's a fifth, sixth-round talent. He should have never been a starter right away. This guy could have turned into a decent backup quarterback, spot starter, and had a decent little career and maybe caught on with a team late in his career to start and did okay, whatever. But, he got thrown into a shitty Jet team right away, and it was horrible. And now this, it's like,
I know.
I don't want to pour Geno. This is the guy who gets to fights in locker rooms over stupid shit, gets his jaw broken. But I mean, I feel a little bad for him. But yeah, it's tough to ask him to say no. I mean, because then honestly, then it probably would have been. I mean, McAdoo goes, okay, well now I'm going to play Davis Webb. I don't think it would have saved Eli, but yeah, we all want the Rudy moment, but
Yeah, he can't.
I can't blame him for just okay, you do what your coach asks you, right? Just like Eli's doing with class, Geno does the same thing, I guess.
Well, I semi agree with you too, and I agree with you actually 100% on that. Like, he can't say no, but you do want it. Like, you do want that moment. But you know what? The Hollywood moment doesn't happen in real life all the time, or most of the time. But anyway, and yes, I feel bad for him a little, and I hate that I'm going to be rooting against a guy that's playing for my team. I don't want him to succeed. I want him to fail.
But you're rooting against the coach, though. It's not against
Yeah.
Geno. It's not against the jersey.
Right.
It's against the coach, and the TV's they're gonna keep showing him this fucking haircut, and your blood's gonna be boiling, and you just want to see Geno on the next play throw a pick. It's just the way it's gonna happen, and it may happen.
Yes.
Or they might. What McAdoo might do is we could be down by 30, and he might just run the ball the whole time and never give him a chance to mess up.
Yeah, it could happen too. It'll probably be cloudy too, and he'll have sunglasses on.
Well, that wouldn't be anything different from the play calling he's done all year, dude. So
just watch him come out with a brilliant game plan, and Geno's just chucking it around. You're gonna want to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I know. And this is why I need the Giants to suck this week on offense.
And listen, from an X's and O's standpoint, McAdoo's offense never fit Eli. It never did. Remember when he first came in and Eli was the stupid shit with his feet. Oh, I'm going to start with my left foot in front of instead of my right foot. All that stupid shit in the shotgun. Like it was like a square peg going into a round hole from day one. And like to get to this point, like, yeah, it's surprising that they're benching Eli, but what's not surprising is this offense hasn't clicked. But that's not a two-time Super Bowl MVP's fucking fault. It's McAdoo's fault.
No. And I can see more if he was playing shitty this year.
Yeah, like, he gave you the numbers.
Exactly. The numbers aren't bad, Mike. He's only got 7 interceptions. That's un-Eli-like.
Right. 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And with a 62% completion rate, his career is 59.
Right?
He's playing good football with a shitty team. He should be the MVP of the league.
So why is where is this coming from? Like what's his reasoning? What is McAdoo's reasoning here? Why is he benching him? Somebody tell me. Where's the reason? Because it's not his play.
This smells.
Somebody tell me.
This
tell
stinks
me.
like I don't know.
I'm like my face is red.
It smells. This whole thing just stinks. It reeks of his fucking hair gel set on fire.
You know, and I didn't even think about the stats, Mike, because I've been so emotionally drained from just the decision that I'm glad you brought up Eli's stats because it's now making me more pissed off.
Well, yeah.
You're benching a guy who's having a pretty decent season with nothing around him.
It's a good season. And I'm kind of glad I did that too, because I haven't gotten overly emotional about this. I think it's bullshit. But, you know, I just tried to get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. So, you know, I'm looking at Geno's stats. I'm looking at Davis Webb's college stats. And I'm like, well, how's Eli playing this year? I was like, that doesn't look that bad. Let me see what it would be like over 16 games. And it's like a really good year. I mean, it's not a Pro Bowl year, but holy shit. With a team that no one can block, no one can catch.
No.
Guys on the defense are quitting. And, you know, 3,500 yards, 20 touchdowns.
What's his logic? Where's the logic here?
And that's my point with we need to see what we have. No, you fucking don't.
No.
You have this guy playing at a really high level on the worst team he's ever been on. And next year, if he wants to come back and play for your dumb ass, if you're still there, God help us all, it's going to be on a Super Bowl caliber team again. Why wouldn't it be?
If McAdoo is back next year, I would never blame Eli for getting the hell out of Dodge.
No. Well, let's talk about that.
I can't blame him now if he wanted to leave. If Tom Coughlin was like, hey, listen, I'll sign you over here. You back up Bortles for a week or two, and then I'm throwing you in, or something like that, or back up Bortles for a week, and you'll be the starter here. I think I
would cry.
Oh, I would cry too, but I would hope that he won the Super Bowl, and I would hope that he would kill us.
And if that happened, I think McAdoo would be murdered by someone.
Oh, forget fired. I mean,
he'd be murdered. I'm not even
hits
joking.
out on him.
He's
There'd be
murdered.
hits out on him.
He still might be murdered soon.
His body's gonna turn up in the swamps of East Rutherford. What happens to Eli now? Has he played his last game as a Giant?
Well, he's in such an awkward and just embarrassing spot right now.
What does he do?
I look at it like this. I look at the teams in the league and how many would take him if he was on the market right now. And I look and I would say Bills, yes. Dolphins, yes.
Yeah. How about the Redskins if they don't re-sign Cousins next year?
Well, yeah, but I won't even give you that one. But yes, I understand what you're saying. But like
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah. They like old players.
Jacksonville, yes.
Yeah.
It's that's at least going, 4.
Man.
The Broncos, yes.
Oh, the Broncos would make a lot of sense.
I mean,
that's 5.
Just the playoff pedigree alone, too. Like, why wouldn't you want a guy like that?
Oh man, he's a gamer. He's as big of a big game quarterback we've seen. I mean, he's beaten Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
A guy that you could like if he was left by the Giants, if he left the Giants like today, start for another team this Sunday without knowing their offense, without knowing anything. But he's such a smart football guy. Done.
Yeah, they could figure some things out. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm sickened, guys. I'm really sickened right now. And Ryan, you said it best before. I told you I wasn't. It was tough to swallow, and it was tough to not think about it. I'm with you. I'm still thinking about it, and I don't know when it's going to go away. It's just it's really tough right now. It's definitely one of the worst moments for my sports teams to see a guy that just brought me joy, some of the biggest joy days of my life when we won those 2 Super Bowls, man. I'm sick. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm embarrassed to be a New York Giant fan right now, and it's because of those freaking a-holes, McAdoo, Reese, Mara, Tish.
Whoever would have thought we would say this about Mara and Tish?
No, I know. Well, you know what? They're a part of this now.
I know. It's awful.
Unless somebody tells us otherwise, they're a part of this. Good God, guys. It boggles my friggin' mind. This is a Mets and Jets move, not a Giants move.
I tweeted that. The other day, like talking about it, dude. It's true. This is so true. This is not a Giants move.
It's not.
We are becoming a laughingstock. This is the circus, and and these assholes are the freaking ringleaders.
Freaking Barnum and Bailey out there.
Flaming hoops. It's like a dumpster fire right now, and like it's like could you think that this season like could have gotten worse? And man, they found a way, huh?
Yeah, they definitely found a way.
Holy shit! Like it wasn't bad enough to get embarrassed by the fucking Rams at home and then go and lose to a winless team. And then now let's just bench Eli Manning. Like, holy shit. Holy shit.
All right. Well, listen. I could bash McAdoo for another 17 hours. I could say a lot of inappropriate stuff that I just don't want to say. I could bash Mara. I could bash Reese. Job, assholes. Yeah. And I just have nothing but love for Eli. Eli, Giant fans love you. And you've never done anything wrong to us. I don't care about the picks. I don't care about this year. You're in the good book forever, and just know it from the Giant fans. We love you to death.
He is in the good book, Ryan. He is in the good book. And you know what? We've gotten mad at him at times, but every quarterback does it. Everybody throws a freaking interception, okay? This guy won 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's in the good book for a New York Giants organization forever, ever. And nobody can tell us otherwise. I don't care. This is a tough couple of days for Giant fans. Tough. Real tough. Probably the toughest. And I don't know how we're going to get through this, but we're going to have to sit and watch Geno Smith take the ball behind center on Sunday. Mike, Packers.
Got to win. And then you got to win again, and again, and again, and then again, and we still might not make the playoffs. So, at least we didn't bench Brett Hundley. But
wait, who's your backup right now?
Joey Callahan.
Joey Callahan. Don't even know him.
Yeah, he was on the practice squad last year. He gave Hundley a good competition in camp this year for the backup spot. Lost it, but they kept him on the roster. We've been carrying 3 all year.
Oh wow!
If I'm not mistaken, there might have been a practice squad demotion there, but actually I don't think so, because if you send someone to the practice squad, any other team can sign the guy, and it's not like he's a huge prospect or anything. But he's got some game. So anyway, Joey Callahan's the backup. But Hundley, I mean, what he did in Pittsburgh gives you a little hope. Tampa, the defense blows. So, last time we were home, it did not go well, but that was against a much, much better defense. Coming off a bye, the Ravens I'm talking about, which John Harbaugh rarely loses. Harbaugh. So, that was a tough spot. So, listen, I mean, it been relatively healthy. I talk about the injuries a lot because I feel like it's a common theme with my team. Rodgers, if it gets to the point, he's not eligible to come back until the Carolina game. If he does, depends on the next 2 weeks. I mean, we're playing two bad teams. I'm sorry. I mean, these are games we should win. We're still a good football team. We're playing Tampa at home, and then we have Cleveland. So should be 7-6 after the next two games. I'm sorry. You should beat Tampa at home. It sounds like Winston's going to play. I don't care. Now Kevin King hasn't practiced this week. That rookie I'm in love with. So him missing action would suck because I don't know who the hell would cover Mike Evans. Dom Capers, I'm sure, has a fucking awesome plan. He's already wide open. He's already wide open. So, a little sneak peek of my FanDuel picks. You have to take Mike Evans. I'm sorry, coming from a Packer fan. Holy shit, Dom Capers against number one receivers. The track record. It's fucking putrid. Evans, chalk him up 14 and like 150, 2 touchdowns. It's going to be horrible. But that being said, I expect Hundley to score points, and I expect Jordy Nelson to get involved. Tampa's defense, they suck, and they just haven't really tried much this year. So, it's where the Packers are, where our playoffs have started, and even if we run the table to steal an Aaron Rodgers line, it may not be enough with this NFC. I don't know if 10 gets you in. We'd have to hope for Seattle to probably go 2-3. That would help because there's some teams sitting in the wild card spots that may easily get to 11. So it'll be tough. But I'm still watching because Hundley's growing, and it's nice to see. He made some throws Sunday night that looked like Aaron Rodgers. It really did. If you took a picture of him from the waist down, he had the feet up in the air. He was making decisive reads. He was throwing hot in the face of blitzes for completions in tight windows. So, but defense let him down as they usually do to 12. So, it's about it. I expect him to win. I really do. I really, really do. Because they're at home against Tampa. And Tampa blows.
Yeah.
So that's my riveting Packers report.
It's so riveting.
It's no Eli benching, but
hey, listen. At least there's some positive behind your organization right now.
A little bit.
At least you're in it, and you're not a laughing stock.
No, we got a puncher's chance.
You do. You still do have a chance. So you win a few games. Maybe Aaron Rodgers comes back, gets you back in the playoffs. Who the hell knows? You never know.
You never know. That's why you play the games.
Yeah, still plenty left going on. Like you said about the NFC, dude, it's tough this year. It's going to be tough to get in. You kind of wish it was in the past where the AFC was more dominant, like it usually is. Because the AFC, you're looking a lot better if you were in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's very competitive.
Because you have Pittsburgh, you got New England, then you got whatever, like a mishmash,
right.
Like a puzzle.
Very, very top heavy, but the NFC is just very deep. A lot of good teams.
It is. And like we said on the last podcast, it's going to be interesting. These playoffs should be a fun watch. And a possible preview, guys. This week at 1:00, I think I'm tuning into Atlanta, Minnesota. I like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like that game. A lot of good stars there, offense and defensive side of the ball. Let's see what Atlanta's made of, okay? Slipping out of the gate, a little Super Bowl loss hangover, and they've really come on these last couple of weeks, and here we go. Julio Jones looked like he's back, but he's got a tough defense, guys. What do you think?
Well, Atlanta's home, which you like.
Yep.
Now, I think coaching matchup, goes got to go with the Vikings. Sarkisian has, it's been a struggle here. They've kind of found something, like you said, the last few weeks. Julio looked very Julio-ish on Sunday. But Zimmer versus Sarkisian, I think you got to give a big edge to Zimmer. But listen, do you still buy Case Keenum? I know he's been really good. But, come on.
I'm kind of leaving it up in the air and not saying he's good or he's not.
Yeah, 'cause I don't
I'm
know
waiting
either.
till the end of the year.
Because listen, he's played like a Pro Bowler this year.
Yeah, he's played very good.
And you are what you play like, but we've seen Case Keenum in the past. He's just he's a backup.
Yeah.
So Atlanta's defense isn't the best, but they're very opportunistic. They're fast. They can get after you. So I mean, it should be a good one. But I'm just waiting for Case Keenum to like crash back down to earth here. But who knows? I don't know.
He's led this team to a top 5 offense right now.
I know
He's doing something right.
And then Atlanta, their top corner, what the hell is it? I can't remember the name. Either their one or their two corner looks doubtful to play.
Oh, okay.
So, and it looks like I think maybe a Diggs matchup. So, covering Stephon Diggs might be a challenge for Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, Freeman should be back. So Atlanta's, they get their full complement of they get their Freeman Coleman combo back, which obviously helps. Julio's been hot. So yeah, it should be a good one.
You know what, too? I think when Freeman going out and Coleman getting his opportunity to get in there and be a starter only helped him because he was really slow out of the gate too. Coleman was not getting many touches in the beginning of the season. And I mean, that's going to happen when you have Freeman there. But he started getting his opportunities, getting his touches, getting his working the outside, inside. I mean, he was going all over the place. And I think having more touches only helps him going forward. I know Freeman will take those away, but now I think we'll see the old 1-2 punch here if this offense is going to be dominant. And that could be scary. That could be a scary thing for defenses. But like you said, I mean, Sarkisian, it's one of those.
Yeah.
You don't really know. Rye, any games you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean that game that you said is big. But just one thing, like even if Sarkisian was in charge of the Giants right now and was hammered, he wouldn't make a fucking decision like Ben fucking McAdoo did. Even if he was fucking shit-faced on 30 vodka tonics, he would not make a fucking decision like Ben fucking McAdoo. Because anyone on the fucking planet other than this sleazy fuckface would know that you don't do a guy like Eli Manning dirty. Because all I've been thinking about since you guys have been talking about the fucking Packers and the fucking Falcons is the chance of bullshit. And
Steve Sarkisian.
My mind.
Of course Sarkisian wouldn't do that. He's crazy, but he's not stupid.
Exactly. I freaking wish. Oh my god. Whatever. You know what? One of the games, Rye, that I'm into this week. Everyone should be into it. It's that Seattle Philly game, and I just wish that Seattle didn't have these guys hurt. I would love to see this game with a fully healthy Seattle team. Not that I like Seattle, but I do want them to win this game. I actually think it's kind of a crime them being home dogs by like 5.5 points.
Yeah.
Oh, that might have to come back to that game later with our picks, but like I kind of like Seattle in that game. So, well, you heard it here. I'm taking Seattle plus 5.5 at home against Philly. Philly has been so good. My mind is all over. I'm still thinking about freaking Eli Manning. This is awful.
I know.
But this is a game where I think people are going to fully expect the Eagles to win. I mean, they've won every game except for the Chiefs game week 2. They've won 9 in a row or something like that, or maybe more. No, 9 in a row, I think, right? Or
It's a bunch.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's 9 in a row. They're 10-1. They have 9 in a row, and Seattle's banged up. So everyone's going to think the Eagles, and this is why they're 5.5 point favorites on the road in Seattle. But I just don't like that. I'm not betting on a team in Seattle, a primetime game, laying 5.5. No. But I am intrigued by that game, and I'm intrigued by the game you all mentioned in Minnesota, Atlanta. And other than that, I mean, that's the game with the most Oh, actually, no, Carolina, New Orleans.
That's probably it, though.
Yeah. But the Giant game for me, that's the game. I mean, and I think and it's weird, 2-9 against a crappy Oakland team. I don't care. That's the game I'm watching. Um, and let's go Raider defense. That's it.
It's weird. I know, Ryan. It's weird to say that, but I don't know. You can't not watch them. You have to tune in because I feel like that game's going to be heavily watched for some reason. Well, not for some reason, for Eli not playing reason. It's going to be it's going to be a higher viewership than you think.
Of McAdoo, like this guy, at least the one thing that he has done, made himself the center of a fucking tension. If
Maybe that's
that's
what
what
he's
he
going
wants,
for.
maybe that's it. Maybe he has a freaking complex where he needs to be the center of attention. That he lost that. He feels like he's controlling the situation for a little bit longer. So before he loses the function of control, he's gonna use as much as he can until it's gone because he knows that his job is in the balance. So let me do so. It's like a president pardoning like 800 people their last day in office.
Yeah, he's got to know he's being canned. He's gotta.
I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm gonna pray about this. I'm not a praying man. I'm praying about this every freaking night.
He's gotta know with his freaking slick hair and his broad shoulders and his fake mustache.
And his fucking Cheesecake Factory menu.
That's the analogy I've been looking for. The Cheesecake Factory menu. It's like 6,000 things.
You're right, though. There's not much else out there. Carolina, New Orleans could be interesting. Good division game. They're a game apart right now. It's basically fighting for that division. So yeah, that's probably it. But let's move on. Let's do some FanDuel stuff, guys. Let's do some FanDuel stuff.
FanDuel.
I'll lead us off, and we'll start with the quarterbacks. If you guys don't know, we give our FanDuel value plays and some must plays of the week. So here we go. QB, check this out, guys. My value play of the week is Blaine Gabbert.
Love it.
64 hundo.
Mizzou.
I mean, why not? His last two games, both over 18 FanDuel points. He seems to have a rhythm with Larry Fitz right now, which I kind of like. So, I mean, why not? He's valued at 64. If he gets you those 18 points, there you go. You're hitting the mark right there. I like him at 64. And then my must play, and this is going to be a theme for me in these picks, Tom Brady. I know he's the highest. He's at 93. He destroys Buffalo. Don't care where it's at. It's in Buffalo. It could be anywhere. It could be on the moon. He destroys Buffalo. All he does is throws touchdowns. Lock it in. I'm playing Brady and his crew this week.
Worth every penny.
Love it.
Q's, boys, Q's.
I think I'm going to hop on board with you. I don't know if I have a low-end guy because I think this is the week to buy up.
It was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, I think this is the week to buy up a QB. I do like Gabbert could be really good, but and you said that he has a good rapport with Fitzgerald. I think every quarterback that's ever played with Larry Fitzgerald has a good rapport with him.
That's true.
It's
good point.
Good.
I think I have a good rapport with Larry Fitzgerald.
And you don't even, you guys have never met.
He's never met me.
Yeah,
I can't really throw good football.
I can throw the ball in my left hand; he'd still catch it. Now,
Best looking predator out there.
Oh, he's handsome. He's a handsome predator.
Now, so you say Tom Brady, I'm on board with, but I also like Russell Wilson this
Rusty.
week as well. I think you buy up a QB this week, and you know what? You have to throw. This is another high end guy. You have to throw Rivers into the mix against Cleveland. You just have to throw anyone in the mix against Cleveland at 8,100. So those are my QBs.
Rivers. Yeah, listen, my high-end guys, I love Brady and Wilson. You're right about Brady. I mean, doesn't he torch everybody, and especially the Bills?
Oh, the Bills, though. Oh, it's
You
funny.
know,
It's hilarious.
and they're kind of reeling, and the Pats just whoop up on
The
them.
perfect storm, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I love Wilson. Philly's defense has played very well. But Wilson, just the running ability.
Oh,
You love his floor. It's so high just because of the running ability. And,
yep.
they always play well at home, especially at night. So, yeah, I like those two guys. Value guys, I have one. Well, I know I have two. The first one at 6,000, Geno Smith. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus.
Just kidding. He's averaging negative 0.1 fantasy points a week. So no, I'm just kidding. But one I do like is Brett Hundley. Like I mentioned, against Tampa, he's 6,400. Listen, he's been inconsistent at best. 5 touchdowns and 7 picks this year. I get that, but 6 of those picks against 2 really good defenses in Baltimore and against Minnesota, when he just got thrown into the game. So he's hot. He just came off a really good week against a really good defense on the road. He's got to be feeling confident. The offense was clicking last week. So I think Hundley might be a good value play at 64.
Nice. Good value. We'll move to running backs, and I've got a few plays that can really make or break your team. These guys could be good values, and just the volume alone can get you through and cash for yourself. The first one, and I don't know why he's still at this price, is Dion Lewis. Okay, here I go again with the Pats. But he's still 63. He's been like 62, 63, like right around there the last couple of weeks. But and he usually gets in the end zone. And last week he didn't get in the end zone. But you know what he did? He ran for 111 yards. So he's involved in that offense, which is a top 3 offense. He's involved, and I know it's tough to take a running back from the Patriots, and Rex Burkhead had 2 touchdowns last week, but Dion Lewis still gave you 11.8 points at 6,300. So I'm going Dion Lewis. I'm riding him until he dies. Another one, Rye, you're going to like this against the Giants. Marshawn
Lynch.
I got it.
You do have it, 6,200. You can run roughshod over the Giants. And David Carr doesn't have his favorite 2 toys this week in Crabtree and Cooper. Cooper probably out with that concussion, and Crabtree suspended. So what are they going to do? They're probably going to run the ball. They're going to have to run the ball. So I like him. And this one's even lower, guys. This one is just purely because the run defense is the worst in the league. And that's Isaiah Crowell. 5,400. Very, very inconsistent year after a pretty solid year last year. But he had a good game against Cincinnati last week. He ran for 95 yards on 16 carries. So maybe he gets a little head of steam right here. And he's going against the 32 ranked rushing defense in the Chargers. So I could take a flyer on a tourney game with him if I'm trying to go up in wide receiver or my quarterback. And then my must play, and I've said it the last 2 weeks, you got to keep playing him, and his price just keeps rising. Alvin and the Chipmunks Kamara.
Gotta.
Just keep playing him. You have to keep playing him. I know, Mike, he's your favorite boy. He's your fantasy buddy.
No.
So you got to keep playing him. He's at 85 now. Next week he'll be at 89. Watch it.
I like it. I think you can make a case for Kamara and Ingram both. I mean, why not? I mean, listen, Carolina is a very stingy run defense, but you get them on that fast track. Maybe if Breeze can open it up a bit early through the air, I mean, that tandem is so good. But yeah, Kamara's the guy. One guy I want to point out, you definitely want to fade. You do not want to roster this guy this week. I have a bad feeling about him. Leonard Fournette, the matchup looked really good.
Lenny.
Yeah, I feel like he's hit a wall here.
I'm with you, dude. But he's hurt too.
Yeah, he's banged up. It maybe a little bit of a rookie wall mixed in with that. Horrible offense doesn't help him. And Indy just I think like they They stay in this game. They show up for this game. I would stay away from Fournette. I mean, he may get a touchdown, but I don't think he's going to hit value for you. He's at 8,700, so I don't think he hits the point total you really need for that price point. One guy I do like, I guess you can call him a value at this point. You want to talk about a rookie wall, but I like him here at 6,900. Kareem Hunt. I just think we might see something. We might see a little Kareem Hunt back. I mean, he's been god awful. Last week being the worst of it. He hasn't hit double-digit fantasy points in a month. I get it. But listen, I mean, it's the Jets. They cannot stop the run. You really would expect a good Chief team to bounce back eventually, no? I mean, I think no better week than this week against the Jets. And if the Chiefs are going to get back on track, it will be a big part. Kareem Hunt will have a big part of that. So he's dropped all the way down under 7,000. So I like Hunt at 6,900. I guess you can call him my value play.
Oh, yeah. Definitely a value play. What do you got, Rye?
Well, I have Marshawn Lynch for my value guy at 62. Play is 7,500. So it's like not the highest of guys, but it's not the lowest. It's in the middle, and it's
Jordan
Howard.
It's your boy.
I love
Jay Howe.
I love him this week against San Fran. The game is going to be close. I don't see any team out of it. So the running game is going to be in play all day. It's going to be one of those 25 to 30 carry games for Howard, and he's going to get over 100 yards, and maybe he gets you a touchdown, and that's enough.
Yeah,
I like it. And you know what, Rye, I was looking at him too. He's got a good matchup at home. It's probably going to be a close game though, like you said, and he's going to have to touch the ball a lot. It might be over 20, and I'm hoping it's 20 for your sake. Wide receiver, Mike, you're going to like this. I mean, I don't know why he's still under 7,000. He's obviously the focal point in the offense for Green Bay, and that's Davante Adams.
Tay.
6,500. Why is he so low? That's a super value right there.
Yep.
Super value. Obviously Hunley's favorite guy to throw to. He's just he doesn't have something with Jordy. It's just not clicking. So his safety guy is Davante Adams. He throws to him a lot of targets each week. So why not? And Davante Adams is a great talent too, and he catches a lot of touchdowns. So I like Davante. Another guy, I'm just going to keep it rolling, Michael. It's D.D. Westbrook, my boy from Oklahoma. I mean, I'm going to look at it this way. He's under 5,000 still. He's at 47. Okay? And his first two games in the NFL, he's got 16 targets. It's not bad.
Love the targets.
So eventually it's going to be pay dirt, and I think he hits pay dirt this week. He had like 71. He had 71 yards receiving last week, I believe, after 30-something the first game. Marquise Lee limited in practice this week, a little banged up. So, and I don't know if Hearns is playing, but I don't think it looked pretty good. But this is a deep threat, so he can catch one long. But I think he's gonna hit. I think he's gonna hit pay dirt for you this week at 4,700. Come on, roster him an attorney. Cash up, baby. And my must play, boys. Here's the theme. It's Brandon Cooks. Stack him with Brady right now.
Stack the Pats.
Put a lineup in right now.
All Pats.
And he's under 8,000, 76. Hundo. And what has he done these last two games? Oh, I don't know. 16 targets or so. Both 6 catches each game. Touchdowns. Come on. And against the Bills.
11 targets the week before that.
11 targets the week before and 8 the week before that. We could just go on and on. He's starting to hit his stride, Brandon Cooks. And talk about a deep threat. He might be one of the best in the league. So, and this is just a dream matchup. And I told you Brady kills the Bills. Dream matchup. Roster him now. Like, put it in right now as I'm speaking.
If you wait till the show's over, it's too late. Do it now. Who's next? Stan, you want to take receivers?
Sure, I got a couple. Just guys that are pretty high end. I don't know if I have any low level dudes, but I love Mike Evans this week. You mentioned it earlier, Mike.
Yeah.
Julio Jones had been sucking all year, not sucking, but not producing like his price. And last week his price came really far down in like the 7,000s, and he goes off for 44 fantasy points. I'm not saying Evans is going to do that, but
He might.
his price in fantasy dropped to 7,500 this week. So I actually think it's pretty cheap. Like Cook's being 76, the receivers are cheap this week.
Yep.
75. And I'm going to stick with the Seattle game. I like Dougie Baldwin. I forget what his price is, but I like Dougie Baldwin.
77.
Yeah, I like that one as well. Not cheap, but not above 8, still under 8,000. So, and then I don't know who the Raiders are playing at receiver. So like they're like Seth Roberts as a low level guy, like maybe take a flyer on Seth Roberts because of suspended and what's his nuts
Koopa.
Koopa
Koopa.
injury. So maybe Roberts or Cordell Patterson or something weird like that. Which I'm just going to throw this in there, which brings me to my tight end play of Jared Cook. Must play this week.
Jared Chef.
That's your must play, huh?
Well, Jared Cook at tight end, I think that's the must play because of the price. You know, you take the price into consideration. You know, you could buy up for one of the big guys like Gronk is always going to be good. You could buy. I think Kelsey will be good this week because they didn't throw to him enough last week. I think Jimmy Graham could be good. Should be okay. Those are the big 4 guys that are priced pretty high. You could save a little money and maybe get the same value, the same production with Jared Cook this week.
All right, Mike, you got some receivers?
Yeah, I actually like a lot. I mean, I won't go through all of them, but, you know, a lot of the top guys you do like. You love Keenan Allen. You gotta still love Hopkins. He's the only guy Savage sees on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But scrolling down a bit, I mean, Mike Evans, I mean, is gotta have a lot of consideration in lineups. And if Kevin King doesn't play, he is a must play. I mean, he is one of the biggest target monsters in the league. I think he's had 4 games without double-digit targets. So we're talking like 8, 9. You know, his lowest total was 6 all year. And against the Packers, targets equals fantasy points. Period. Dom Capers doesn't give a flying fuck about your best player. He'll let them run roughshod all day. That's the second time we've used roughshod tonight. But Evans, if no King, it's a no-brainer. Even if King's playing, you gotta really consider it. And then I think, I mean, Thielen's been the guy in Minnesota with Keenum, but I think it's a Diggs kind of week. I like his matchup a lot. I mentioned one Atlanta corner. Really doubtful to play, I believe. And I think that helps Diggs a lot. And then going down, if you want a really good value play, I mean, Rye, you mentioned Devontae Adams, but I'm going to take a flyer maybe in a tournament or two with Jordy Nelson. And this is a guy who I almost sold my soul to draft in both my leagues this year. And I've since benched him. I did not play him in either league last week. I mean, you can't really blame me. But Jordy Nelson is 6,400, and rightfully so, but it still looks really, really weird against a putrid pass offense. And I mentioned Hundley, like a Hundley-Jordy Nelson stack, I think has a really, really high ceiling. It's got a really low floor, too. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, if you're looking to really have a chance to take down a tournament or something, I mean, Hundley and Nelson, no one's going to have that. Nobody. No. So, it could hit a jackpot for you. Because Jordy Nelson 6,400 it still looks wrong to me. I know it's not, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
You got to give it a shot. Why not? Like you said, those guys will be low owned in attorney probably, and if they hit, man, I mean, you probably have some other guys in your lineup there with with some price that sky high that'll get you even some more. But if I'm going to tight ends, Rye, you kept the tight ends going. You kind of took them all. But how about a guy for a little value who, after 2 weeks ago, I said, who did it again last week? That's RSJ, Ricky Seals Jones. I mean, who is this guy? I still don't even know who he is.
Kiss from a
Gabbert
Rose
likes him.
Jones.
Yeah, apparently Blaine Gabbert likes him. 2 touchdowns 2 weeks ago, a touchdown last week, and 72 yards. Why the hell not? He's 5,600. You know my philosophy on tight ends. I don't like going for the high price guy. I just don't like it. I rather price high at a better position, like a running back or a receiver or even a quarterback. So there's my value. But here's my big but.
Caveat.
But I've been on the Patriots train. So if I'm on the Patriots train, no better person than the Gronk man.
Love Gronk.
At 81. He's a must play as well. I'm playing him, Brady, and Cooks, getting him in my lineup. And even to top it off, I'm going to go ahead of you a little bit. My defense, New England. Right in the middle of the pack at 4,600. Boom.
Man,
go.
As many pats as you can get. Like Gronk's a great cash game play this week. His floor is just so high, as long as he doesn't get hurt during the game.
Right.
I like Delaney Walker. Finally caught his touchdown. Been waiting all year. But, I mean, this guy, every single week, it's wide receiver type numbers with the targets. And actually, ironically, last week was one of the lowest totals. He gets the touchdown, so be it. But within double-digit points, if not double digits, within a couple tenths the last month. It's Mariota's favorite guy. I don't think Rashard Matthews is playing. Against Houston, I mean, it's a really, really good matchup. And you scroll down a bit, of course I love Gronk, but if you don't want to spend $8,000, let me see. Give me a second here. How about this one? This one is pulling out of my ass, but we saw Greg Olsen try to come back. Had the foot again. Give me Ed Dixon.
Eddie D.
4,900. Call it a hunch. I don't love New Orleans linebackers. So tight end could be a nice spot here. 4,900 I like. And everyone will be sleeping on Ed Dixon. So I'll give Ed Dixon a shot.
No, Rye, you talked about tight ends. You got any defenses, boys?
Yeah, the Raiders. Let's go.
You know what? Give me the Jaguars again. I don't care how high they get. I feel like the Jaguars are almost like Alvin Kamara at this point. I mean, they've done really, really well. I mean, 5,600 is kind of bananas for a defense. But if you can shape your team the right way, I mean, you gotta like them. The Chargers. I mean, all the high price ones, the 3 highest ones. I mean, Jaguars, Chargers, Rams. Probably pretty good plays. If there's a value defense, Nunzi, you mentioned New England. Why the hell not? I'll go all the way to the bottom. And you know what? I mean, I know it's in New Orleans. But, I mean, Carolina is one of the best defenses in the league, and they're only 4,200 just because of the matchup. But we've seen Drew Brees not really be Drew Brees all year. And I went on and on about Kamara and Ingram. I get that, but it's kind of a yin and yang thing. I mean, I'll definitely go with Kamara, maybe Ingram, and a couple things. But you got to like the Panthers' defense in some universe. I mean, they're literally one of the best defenses in the league. Second overall. Second against the pass, third against the run, and then third cheapest defense. So why not take a shot?
Why the hell not?
Well,
I mean, you got to listen to us, guys. You have to. This is
all right.
This is money right here.
All that stuff is right.
Just when you're filling out your lineups, take a listen to the podcast. See if anything tickles your fancy. Throw a guy in here and there. and maybe tweet us. You guys did us good. We won, cashed out. Well, it brings us to our favorite part of the night. That would be our weekly picks, boys. All right, who's going first? Just a little rundown, viewers. We got a little lazy. We ate too much turkey, and we had a little holiday hiatus last week. No picks, so I think we're fresh. We're ready to go. Who's going to start this one off?
I'll start it. You already know one.
You want to start?
Well, you already know one.
Fighting over that start.
Who wants to start? All right, Stan, take it. You take it. Take it away.
You be Geno Smith. Go ahead.
Seahawks plus 5.5. You already heard the reasoning. Seahawks plus 5.5. Raiders minus 8.5.
Oof.
Geno Smith is the quarterback for the Giants, and I'm just going against everything right now. Everything that I've ever thought in my life, I'm going against it. and the Cleveland Browns plus 14.
Yeah, you know what? I almost took that one. I kind of like that one. That would be my fourth pick if we had 4. We'll put it that way.
It's 2 touchdowns. That's my only reasoning. Go.
Right. And I actually think this is a big trap game for the Chargers. But the only thing that might save them, they did lose to the Browns last year. Yeah. So that has to be fresh in their mind. But yeah, it's a lot of points. But the Browns will find a way to fuck it up. I have a big underdog. It's the Colts. Getting 9.5, I believe. Guys, it's Blake fucking Bortles giving 9.5 points. No, that doesn't happen. Colts have been in like every game this year. The Jaguars had a dogfight with the fucking Cleveland Browns because Blake Bortles sucks so bad, because this is like stealing. Colts plus 9.5. I like the Rams at -7 at Arizona. This kind of has a feeling of a trap game, maybe. They just had a big statement win. Then they have a big one next week, so they're just going to the putrid Cardinals, whatever. But I just think with this coach and this young team, they're always playing with high energy. I don't think they overlook anybody. Goff's really starting to get it going, so he's feeling good. He's not going to be taking a week off. I think it's a good spot for the Rams, -7. And Nuns, I mean, give me the Pats at -9. I mean, come on. You just take Brady every week and you'll come out on top. I mean, this guy's like 150 something and 100 in his career against the number. If you bet on Brady every week, you'd be up. That's the bottom line. So 9 is just not enough. Like you said, I don't care where it is. I don't care if it's in the Kohl's parking lot. That's -9. Rams -7. Colts plus 9.5.
Well, Mike, I like the last one you did, and I'm just gonna hop on your back because you knew I was taking that. I've been all over the Pats, Fanduel picks.
Pats
-9. It's not enough. It's not enough. They're gonna win by like 3 touchdowns.
In the bag.
That feeling. Buffalo just sucks, man. They don't even know what they're doing. They really don't. They got lucky last week on another reeling team like the Chiefs, and they didn't even look that good anyway. So they're stepping into the big boy pants, and they're going to get demolished. -9, taking the Pats. The good thing about this, guys, is we kind of almost all took different picks here. That was our only same pick, Mike. So my other 2 games are different. But before that, Mike, you took the Colts over the Jaguars. And if you guys rewind the tapes, I took the Colts when they played the Jaguars the last time, and I think they got blown away. It was like 30-3 or something.
The one game that got blown out.
It was terrible. So I looked at that game, and I was like, nope, staying away.
That's fine. Stay away.
But you know what? You might win that one. I did kind of like it, but I was like, no, too many bad memories. Anyway, after -9 for New England, I'm taking Atlanta -3 over Minnesota. I don't know why really I'm taking Atlanta. I wanted to try a little something different here. They are home. They're looking good the past couple of games. They're getting Freeman back. I want to see what Minnesota's made of here. like you said, Mike Keenum. What is he? Is he good? Is he okay? What is he? I like Atlanta here. I like them to keep rolling. -3. I'm taking them. And I'm going Monday night, boys. I'm stretching it to Monday night, and I'm taking Pittsburgh on the road. And I know you don't like Pittsburgh on the road, Mike. But of late, they're playing like the Pittsburgh Steelers of old.
Oh, yeah.
4.5. Cincinnati blows. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Terrible. I don't know how they're 5-6 or whatever they are. I think they are 5-6. Pittsburgh's just on a roll right now. And Antonio Brown's playing like the old Antonio Brown. You can't cover him. And you saw that firsthand, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Cincinnati's a little bit better. Cincinnati's a little bit better defense than Green Bay. But still, I don't think anybody on this planet can cover this guy.
No, not for 60 minutes at least.
No. So I like Pittsburgh -4.5. Atlanta -3. New England -9.
Weekly picks.
Book it. I guess we'll get Dave's picks and tweet them out.
Yes, I promise.
Yeah, we'll get Dave's picks. We'll tweet them out for you guys. But I think it's time to go. My energy has decreased after flipping out a little bit earlier. I know, Rye, you're probably a little tired.
A little drained.
Or maybe you got so much adrenaline you want to go and just beat the piss out of McAdoo.
I'm gonna drive to East Rutherford right now.
That'd wake me up right now. It'd be like smelling salts up my nostrils if I saw that guy.
Well,
right up your nostrils.
Before we go, Mike, you got any last words for the viewers?
Go Pack, go Raiders, I guess. Huh?
Right?
Love you, Eli Manning. Love you more than anything. Tiger Woods.
How'd he shoot today?
-3 today.
Oh.
-3.
Hey, at least he got through 18 holes.
He got through 18, -3, 3 back of the leader, ahead of Henrik Stenson, Kistner, Matsuyama, Koepka, Reed, Noren, and Berger. So this is only 18-guy field, but there's some good golfers in there, and he's ahead of a bunch of them. So it's a good sign. As a guy I've heard, I don't know if you guys know Joe House. He said his hand is on the zipper. And he's pretty happy. He's in the zipper zone. He's ready to take that thing out and start getting to town because he's so happy that he has a Woody that Woods is back.
Nice.
Laying the hammer down.
Well, I took Tiger and Fanduel, guys.
Nice.
Took him in Fanduel, winning $2.50 right now. Let's go.
Ride Tiger to the top.
I mean, you have to. He's one of the cheapest guys.
I can't do Fanduel golf in New York. New York.
Really?
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can't do it in New York. Stupid.
Yeah.
Nope.
I saw it there. I'm like, let me throw one in. It was $1 entry. Let's throw it in. So I took Tiger because he was actually one of the cheapest guys out there.
Oh, I bet.
So I'm winning $250. I actually got the guy who's in first, Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. So Tiger's tied for 8th.
Nice.
So could be interesting. I like that you brought that up, Ryan. Guys, check us out everywhere, especially Twitter. We want to get that Twitter handle moving a little bit. Tweet us. Check out what we put on there. We're going to tweet Dave's picks soon, too, so you can check his out if you'd like to take his picks at all. Please download some of our content on iTunes, all right? Give us a review, too. I always go and check and see if anybody's given us a review. It's, it's pretty cool to see what you guys think of the podcast, what we can do better, what we're doing well. So check us out on iTunes. And, of course, like always, YouTube and SoundCloud. We're on a couple different platforms. Check us out. We'll be back soon. Enjoy your weekend of sports. And Rye, I'm with you. Love you, Eli Manning. Go Giants forever. But this week, hope they suck. Good night, everybody.